it's Lee from ColouringQueen.net and thank you for joining me today. I am so hot that I've got the fan going on in the background just on low, so I hope it doesn't disturb you too much. I'm probably not going to stay on for as long as I'd originally hoped, basically because I'm too hot and I want to go for a swim. So I hope you understand, and later on I'll come back and I'll do another part to this video, I think, because I don't think I'll get anywhere near what I wanted to get done today just because I'm just so hot. So how are you guys all going today? I know some of you will be hot and some of you will be cold and, everything. Now, I'm colouring a little bit scratchy today because I don't know what I've done to my hand, but my right hand is extremely sore. It feels like I've got arthritis in the fingers or something. Just going like that really hurts, and I've broken them a few times, so it could be that, or it could just be doing something that's jammed them up a bit. I was doing a lot of gardening and shoveling the other day. I had to move all this dirt that I'd got delivered and dirt that I was throwing away, so maybe I've done something there by holding the shovel for extended periods. I'm not sure, but it's so painful that it's really painful to colour at the moment. And so that and the heat is just knocking me absolutely flat. So I had hoped to spend, a lovely amount of time with you today, but I just don't feel I'm going to last. I'm just, at the moment, all I'm thinking about is getting in the pool and unclenching my hand, and yeah, so not the day that I intended, and not the time with you that I intended that it would be like this, but anyway, that's how life works, isn't it? Everything that you always intend, it never sort of works out that way. So I'm colouring Snowcats today, and it's not from a colouring book. The artist has got a couple of pages, and I'll put a link below the video where you can purchase them. They're a digital download. I've just printed mine out on 80 GSM copy paper, which is cheap and nasty copy paper. The Pussycats do not deserve it, but quite frankly, it was what I had that was convenient to me, close by, without having to dig through. And because it's a digital download anyway, I can always come back and redo it when I've got more experience, and maybe I want to change the colours that I'm choosing today, and redo it on better paper. So sometimes I think of these ones as like a practice run for, if I do it again. Now normally I would try and blend that out a bit more and add some more layers, but because my hand is so sore, I might just go and use a blender marker on it, maybe a blender pencil. And actually, I feel inclined just to use like an alcohol marker or a Tombow marker on it, because that's even easier than this. But I've got this one handy, so the actual Prismacolor blender pencil is not really my favourite one. I don't know, it's got a texture to it that sort of is like chalk on a blackboard for me, and I might even go over this with my blender pen with my own mixture in it, my blender fluid mixture. I've done a video on that before, just because because this white copy paper puts up so many little tooth marks in it on the paper just to get a smooth finish, and to avoid having to do too many layers because my hand is so sore. Yeah, but that's what I was telling you. I think I will go over that in maybe an alcohol marker, but I'll do it at the end and we'll see how we go. Maybe my hand will get better. So at the moment here it is 39 degrees, which is hot. It's really unpleasant hot. There's also some bushfires burning. And they're certainly not as bad as in Sydney and New South Wales generally. Everyone there is just going through an absolute nightmare of a time, and luckily some firefighters, etc., are coming over from Canada and from the US to give our guys, our fireys, a little bit of respite and you know, do some firefighting here, which is incredibly kind and generous of them, because these fires are just so bad. So here we've got some smoke haze from some burning up north, but it's nothing really compared to what Sydney and New South Wales is going through. It's just been absolutely horrendous. And today I think there's like 109 bushfires burning in New South Wales. And some, of course, are deliberately lit, which is just heartbreaking. And the amount of wildlife and natural habitats that are being destroyed is just unbelievable. But you know, at the moment people are just more concentrated on trying to fight these fires, and a lot of people are taking time off work because the smoke is horrendous. I think they did a study and they said in Sydney at the moment it's like smoking a packet of cigarettes a day. The smoke haze is so bad, and people are wearing respiratory equipment and whatnot, respiratory masks in the city. So if I was still in Sydney, I would have taken time off work because my asthma and my bronchitis is just exacerbated by all that smoke. You know, it'd be really unpleasant. I wouldn't be able to cope, I really wouldn't. So I would have taken time off work. But of course I don't have a job now to take time off work. So I think last time we spoke I'd been for a job interview. So I heard back, and of course I didn't get the job. What a surprise. And they rang me up. They were super nice. They rang me up and they told me I didn't get the job, but they wanted me to call them back. And so, you know, I called them back. You know, and I knew I wouldn't get the job, but, you know, there's still a part of you that still would hope that you would get the job, if you know what I mean. And because I'm finding it so difficult to find anything here in this local area that I'm qualified for. I mean, I've been looking for 6 months, and, you know, there's no point in now looking pre-Christmas because the sort of work, you know, is not advertised during this period. And so I've been looking and, you know, only been for 2 interviews, but told by, you know, 5 people that I'm overqualified and all the rest of it. And so they wanted me to ring them back, and I knew what they were going to say. They were going to tell me yet again that I'm overqualified. So I rang them back, and the head of the department, or the head of that particular section, wanted me to ring, and, you know, they were absolutely lovely. And guess what? What a surprise. They said I was overqualified and also over-experienced for the job, but they wanted to give me feedback. The type of job, you know, that I, you know, might be better suited for would be as a consultant, and you know, to be paid on a like a contractor's wage, and you know, they felt that they might have something in the new year that might suit, you know, someone with consulting abilities and whatnot, and that they would certainly keep me in mind for it. And yeah, they said that if anything came up that like paid more, because they also felt that I would be unhappy with the pay, bearing in mind my experience and my qualifications, and that I'd probably, you know, end up leaving or whatnot. And it's like, well, at the moment I'd be happy with $20, to be honest. But anyway, yeah, so they might have something in the new year. I'm not going to hold out any hopes. And the thing is, I've done contracting work before. I was a contractor many years ago when I broke my wrist, and that was a nightmare because, you know, I'd broken my wrist and I couldn't work and all the rest of it. But I did get to work for some pretty cool people, so that was a plus side, and work with some cool people. But, you know, it wasn't like the best fit for my personality, I don't think. But at the moment I just don't know what to do. I'm so over looking for a job and so over being told I'm overqualified, and this time I got overqualified and over experienced, so, you know, I don't know what I can do type thing, you know. So I'm not going to look in the next few weeks. It's coming up for Christmas, and, you know, this time last year we were going through some really bad times with David's dad and whatnot, so I just want to have a nice end of year and just think about his mum and his brother coming up to visit, and not worry about this so much because it's driving me nuts. And I'm having real trouble with my hand and my wrist at the moment today, and also I'm sitting so far away from the page that everything is just going chaos here. It's all going crazy in the world of pencils. This is not the way I colour normally. Can't get comfortable today. But anyway, and I'm going to probably go over this with the alcohol blender pen rather than build up layers, because my hand is way too sore. And I'll do that at the end, and because my hand is so sore, I'll probably just colour these flowers and then colour a few more off screen and then blend it out when I come back to finish off the picture. But this gorgeous little Snowcats drawing, it's an Etsy page, and you can also choose another one if you want. I wanted this one because the cats reminded me of Millie. So I think I'll probably do this one as Millie and make her face like a little love heart shape where she's got her little grey markings on it. So we'll see how we go with that. So what's everyone been doing today? Everyone getting ready for end of year celebrations and buying gifts and all the rest of it. We got up about 5 and had coffee on the balcony, which is what we normally do. And it's getting so hot that by about 6 o'clock I was already too hot sitting on the balcony. And that's where I usually answer my Facebook messages and check in on Instagram and read my emails and all that sort of stuff while I'm having coffee. It was so hot out there. I came inside. And then we went up to Bunnings, the hardware shop. We took Charlie with us because he absolutely adores going to Bunnings. And they have a sausage sizzle where the money goes towards a different charity each day up here. And Charlie always gets a tiny little bit of sausage, so he loves going up there. And he can smell it, and they've got the gardening stuff as well as all the hardware stuff that we need. So today they had all these specials on, which I find very hard to resist a special. And luckily they were for things that I could use or needed. So I got, oh, I'm so hot. I can't wait to get in the pools, honestly. I'm sweating. So they had these lights that you can install on the stairs. So they were only $5, which was so super cheap. So we got those because Charlie's a little bit blind now, and when he runs down the stairs of a night, I'm worried he's going to fall and hurt himself. So I'm super pleased that we could get those. And we just install them into the stairs. You don't need an electrician, but my electrician is coming next week anyway, so that'll be good. If I do need him, he can help with that. And what else do we get? Oh, we got loads of plants, and Charlie got loads of attention because everyone knows him now. And he gets fawned over, and all the customers pat him. Because what happens is you can have your dog on either a lead or in the trolley, and we bring a like a pet blanket type thing, and we put it in the trolley so he doesn't hurt himself. And there's no food or anything at this shop. The sausage thing is outside the shop, just in case anyone thinks it's unhygienic. And so we bring his like little pet basket thing, and we put it inside the trolley, and he sits on that, and he likes to put his paws on the top of the trolley like he's Leonardo in Titanic, you know, and he's steering the boat, and everyone thinks it's so adorable the way he does it. So he gets so much attention. And because he's white and fluffy, you'd think it'd be like the ladies, but honestly, it's always big blokes that go gaga for Charlie. And in Sydney, they used to always want to get a photo with him, and yeah, it's funny, he's got that knack. Millie loves men too, so I'm missing out everywhere here. I'm going to have to stop and get a drink. I won't be a minute. I'm back. I guess the great thing about being so hot is that you drink a lot of water, which is really good for you, so there's a positive there. But I am super hot. And I know this looks a bit dog's breakfasty at the moment, but I will blend it out with an alcohol blender to get those little white spots out, just so that I don't have to do too much work with this cheap photocopy paper. Yeah, so we got the things that we needed for the house, and they had so many things on special. So I got some canna lilies for the garden that were on special. Only got 2, but they're nice. They're the yellow ones. And you can hear my little dog Charlie panting in the background maybe. And I think they'll look good. The problem is there's so much garden, and we're not used to it, and we're not used to having to buy so many plants, and it's still looking like we've got nothing there. There's just so much to fill. But so we got the canna lilies, and then some of my bulbs have died, and I've got nothing really to replace them. The other seedlings I've planted haven't come to fruition yet, so I bought some seedlings of impatience, and I bought some cordyline for the garden, and I bought, what else? Look, I did buy a lot of plants, but most of them were only $5. I bought a geranium because it was huge and it got such a nice smell. But they were all like $5, so it was an absolute bargain. I only ever buy my plants when they're on special, and then sometimes they look like they're sort of dying a bit, so I say, I'm going to put these in hospital for a while, and then I take them like to a place in the garden that's got a little bit more filtered light, and then I sort of nurse them until they come back to the way they should be, which works out well because I've got them from a bargain and I've nursed them back to health and they're happy. So I did get a lot of flowers. I got those stair lights, which I'm rapt about, because when you've got an elderly little puppy dog, you don't want them tripping or falling or anything. And he is such a beautiful little man. He is just such a gorgeous little puppy. He's going to be 14, I think, this year. And he still thinks he's a puppy. He's still playing with his toys. And, he still doesn't understand that he's got arthritis. And, he's a little bit deaf and he's a little bit blind. And, but he's still just a little puppy to us. And he loves going to Bunnings. And I'm just rapt that we got those stair lights for him, because he gets nervous of a night. Usually we carry him down the stairs if he wants to go to the bathroom, but now he'll be able to walk down the stairs overnight once we install those for him. So I'm super pleased that we got those. And what else did we do? They had the carols by candlelight last night up at the school up the road, and just the kids look so gorgeous, all in their little red outfits. And some of them, were dressed up so they looked like Santa, or some were like elves. It was so cute seeing them. And I think what I'll do is I'll go over this with alcohol marker and blend it out. And I might do a few of these flowers off screen. You've got to try and work out which is snow and which is the actual flower. So that's snow. So I have to make sure I'm actually focusing and I don't colour the snow red. So these are the leaves, and luckily when you buy this digital page, if you decide to get it, it's not in a colouring book. There's only like this page and another page to choose from. There's also a coloured picture, which is super helpful because then you can look at it and see whether that's snow or a leaf or something else, which is always good. So I might do a leaf, and what I'll do is I'll do the rest of the flowers off screen, and then I'll come back and do like the Millie Cat and whatnot with you guys, but probably not today because I am so hot. I'm really struggling with my hand today. I can't seem to get comfortable colouring. I don't know if any of you guys have that problem where you... And also I'm trying to fit with the camera angle, but just cannot get comfortable. I feel like I'm breaking something every time I move my hand. So I don't know what I've done this time. Old age. But I am super relieved that I've decided not to look for a job for the rest of the year. So I'm sick of the stress. I'm sick of going through all the listings and trying to find something that I can do, you know. I'm sick of it, over it. So I'll wait till next year and we'll see what happens then. So maybe do a bit more there. Now people have been asking me about that whole FTC and the copper thing. And you know, I've tried to make that video that many times, but you know, I will make it, but I haven't been overly inspired to make it, put it that way. So there's other things that I'd rather talk about than that. Anyway, so what I might do is do a bit more of this off screen, and I'm going to use a blender on that just because I've used the cheap copy paper and I don't have the energy in my hand to do all these layers. And then I shall do a bit more off screen and I'll come back and we'll do the kitty cats and whatnot together. I really just wanted to catch up and have a chat and see what everyone else is up to this weekend. Oh, and I did want to tell you that I will be having a giveaway on YouTube before the end of the year. I'm probably going to put that up next week, maybe next week, yeah, I think so. So keep an eye out for that, and that's it from me. Until next time, I hope that you are either snugly and warm or nice and cool as a cucumber, depending where you are in the world. And until next time, happy colouring.